Something about sitting on this side with somebody else just empowers me.
Yeah,
So I
2/3
can only-
every time. I am always
Is that-
2/3 every time.
So I feel bad for you, you know.
When we have our guest, it'll be all right.
It'll still say 2/3,
Yeah,
no
we're
matter
not a
what,
part
just because
of-
it'll be funnier for the math.
It doesn't matter. It'll make it even.
It might. It might not. You want to know what I got?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't
think
have
we're
much.
32 minutes in, but let's get our
No
first
way.
talking
Already?
point going.
Oh my goodness.
It's barely 5 o'clock.
For man, I don't want to make this about me, but for
That's
those
tough
of
for you,
y'all
huh?
who have watched, I can't remember what the fasting. We're gonna call it the fasting.
That's episode 4.
I failed. I failed it that
My
night.
girlfriend-
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, for
We
sure.
talked about it, and that night I failed because I
My girlfriend
fell
literally was-
into temptation because of these guys. Peer pressure. I told y'all.
My girlfriend literally looked at me while we were watching it. Like, I edited it, posted it, went downstairs, and she was like, "Oh, I want to watch it." I was like, "All right, fine, whatever." So we're watching it. You're talking about it, and you say like, I want to make it like 5 to 7 days. I think is what you said. Yeah, you were on day 3, and she was like, "Oh, so how far did he make it?" And I was like, "Oh, we got him that night." It's just
Which is crazy. Because we even said we weren't going to, mess you up because you were
yeah.
you were doing it
And then we go into
for your
Bubba's.
mental.
You sit down, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat." You're like, "Well, that was easy."
However, I will say that I ate pretty well that night. It wasn't bad. I did. I did.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. You are absolutely correct because I
It's
failed.
2 days longer than we fasted. I mean, like, I don't like food, and I still don't think I would fast.
I needed to bring that up because I
Yeah, we
ate
for
that
sure
night.
failed that
I
night.
definitely ate that night.
Which is funny because we never talked about it after
We
that.
didn't.
No, he's all right, and that's over.
That's it.
But I watch these videos, our podcasts, like their film.
Study film.
I study
you know?
film. I'm a born athlete.
That's insane.
Athlete.
Why?
Your vocabulary that you
ATH.
choose
Okay.
is insane.
Yeah, because it's awesome.
You are an athlete.
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 Yeah.
You guys ever seen bench warmers? Because that's why. I was making sure. I was like, I didn't know there was a syllable there. Like that's why I was doing
I'm an
it.
ATH, baby. But yeah, I failed miserably. I don't have anything else. I mean, I was watching a podcast and about kids because I'm on this whole like, am I raising my kids right? Type
That's
thing. Which I
tough.
know. Which I know I
always
am.
think about that.
Which I know I am. Don't get me wrong. But it was a really good. For those of you who don't know, can I shout out another podcaster or whatever?
I'll give a rip.
For those of you who don't know who Jay Shetty is, amazing. He is. I mean, he's great to listen to. Very well spoken. Very intelligent. I mean, even y'all too. If y'all haven't seen him, please. But anyways, he was. I think he's a monk. I want to say that he's a previous monk, current monk. I mean, he's probably still current. If you monk, you're probably monking the rest of your
Is that a
life.
license? Is that like what is?
But anyways,
Monks have converted.
but
A license? Like
this right.
How do you
membership?
He
Maybe you shave your head and you're in.
Monk? That's it.
He went off.
That's a lot of bald
He went
people out
off
there.
and gave up a lot. And he's a young guy.
Are they unwilling monks then? Like
know.
if you're balding,
Forcibly.
He has hair. He has really good hair.
they're natural monks.
It's amazing.
Wait, he has hair?
Oh, absolutely.
That's such.
So he's not a monk.
I don't know. He
Well,
wasn't-
also, do all? Where'd my phone go?
I think.
I don't know if all monks have.
But anyways,
Well,
There goes
don't
that
care
phone.
that much.
anyways, he has a podcast. I don't know what the podcast is, but on this particular episode, he had a brain expert or a psychologist.
Yeah.
On there talking about raising your kids and things like that. So obviously it got me in.
Well,
deep
I
thought.
always think, and I mean, I had a great childhood. So it's like to compare your childhood to how you want to raise your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you, of course, have things that you want to do differently, but then there are things that you could do better, and then there's some things you don't want to do at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so far away.
and it's tough.
Don't ask me to bend down.
It
to
is-
do
it
this.
is all the way back
No,
there.
There ain't no way.
Wow.
Dude, it took the bounce.
I'm
It
so
is
tired of
gone.
Newton's laws. I have had that up here with Newton's laws.
All right.
But continue.
But anyway, I always think about that because I'm like, man, like, because I normally think about it when I'm lying down, going to sleep, about to go to bed, close my eyes for the day, whatever. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, like I could have done this better. I shouldn't have done this.
Oh, you're like recapping.
Yeah, I could have
yeah.
done this, and not just for my kids, of course.
Yeah.
At work, friends, family, my wife, and I always just think about, man, what can I do better tomorrow?
How often do you think, man, Winton was right?
Never.
What about Brennan?
In regards to what?
Negative.
Negative.
Negative, never.
Speaking for me, that's fine. That's I don't mind. It's okay. I fall into peer
But
pressure.
then
anyways.
I will say this, because I think about those things, talk to God about it, still don't do it.
So
Ooh.
he was saying that one of the most important things to do is to spend 20 minutes a day. That is it. Just 20 minutes a day. No cell phone. No cell phone. No questions. So you can't ask your kids questions, and no demands. And literally, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want paint, color, go outside, play with blocks, whatever?
You're asking a lot of questions.
Man, like, no. Well, you're asking.
Just
You're asking the kid, like, hey,
Wait,
what do you
so-
want to do?
Wait,
And then
so he
what
says
that
for
kid-
20 minutes,
for 20
don't
minutes.
ask questions,
Don't ask
but ask your
questions.
child, what do you want to do?
Yeah, so figure out what the kid wants to do. Just figure out what the kid wants to do.
Okay.
Like, hey, what do you want to do right now, right? And whatever the kid wants to do or decides to do for the next 20 minutes, just do that with them.
you can like
No cell
veto
phone,
it if it's
no
dumb, right?
Questions, no commands. And here's the thing: is because then they start getting used to it, right? The consistency. They start seeing you start building that relationship with them, right? And they start talking. You let them openly start talking. You're not the one that is opening up the conversation.
Right.
You're allowing them to open up the conversation, and you're literally just listening.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously they go into
That
you know,
empowers
a lot
that
more,
that
dude, and it's-
empowers them at such
yeah.
a young age.
Absolutely, and that's the whole thing.
I
is-
did that. I mean, I do it often, but I can remember one time I did that. My kids were playing shopping, literally for 20, 30 minutes. So I'm at the register, right? We just got this register for Christmas,
Your 3-year-old's ruthless.
dude. So I'm the cash register. I'm the person, checking him out, and he's like, beep, 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 give me the money, this and that. And so then he's like, well, it's my turn now. I'm like, all right, well then I'll go shopping. So I'll go around the house and I'm picking stuff up, and I go to the register, and I forgot to grab some cash because just whatever, it was his turn. So he's checking me out, and he was like, okay, it's he always says it's $5. It's $5, and I'm like, oh, I don't have my money. He was like, no money, no toys, and I'm like, oh, hey.
Can I buy it on
back, sir.
credit?
He'll be a great employee one day.
beautiful.
Oh, that's a
Young entrepreneur.
No, but
in
it
the
was fun.
making.
It was fun. I mean, it was me, my daughter, when she's younger,
Mm.
and then my oldest.
Yeah.
We all played, and so it was fun to do that with them because it puts you with them instead of them always doing what you tell them to do
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
And one of the big takeaways from that is if you don't do these things to build trust, right, then it's like, how do you really tell somebody whether it's a friend or a coworker or
Yeah.
a child, how do you tell somebody what to do when you have no influence over them?
Yeah. So there's a pastor, I listened to a message one time, and like his whole thing was like as a parent shouldn't like say, hey, do this because I told you so, which I there's times when it needs to happen kind of thing.
Right.
But he was like, a big thing that like I try to enforce or like try to like build with mine is that like it's not because I told you so, it's because you trust me. So it's like they have that rapport, they have that established trust, and it's not like, well, why shouldn't I do that? It's like, well, my dad's probably looking out for me right now, so I'm going to do that because I trust that he wants me to do the best.
Which is
Yeah,
tough
he's got
because at a
influence
young
over
age,
you.
even my 8-year-old now, they don't really. He doesn't understand that concept of
Dude.
he's telling me to do this for a reason because it's
Mhm.
better for me.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand that.
I sometimes like when my what nephew is it? One of my nephews 3 of them are in like the golden age of talking back and needing reasons for everything. So one of them, I don't even remember which one it was, but I'm like, hey, do this, and he's like, why? I'm like, if I tell you to do something sometimes, there might be a bus coming. I don't want you to say why. It's just like, trust me, I'm always looking out for you. It's not like, and he's like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. I was like, it's like, I don't have time to explain if there's a bus coming at you, dude.
Right.
Like,
But for them to have that discernment, though, with certain people,
Yeah.
'cause it could be you
Yeah.
with great intentions, but it could be somebody else with malicious
Sure.
intent.
Oh, yeah.
So it's tough because the world is so ugly.
Yeah. And one thing that I try to do as well, my daughter's 6, so she's old enough to understand. Your son is 8,
Yeah.
old enough to understand.
Right.
And what I'm really trying to do is, if something doesn't go my way, right? Of course I know. I'm a parent. I've lived
Yeah.
through it. So I'm not going to tell my kids to do something just for the hell of it or for lip service, right? To hear myself talk. No, I'm telling them because there's a purpose behind it.
Right.
They might not understand it. So like what I'm really trying to train myself to do is question them, so that way they can have free thinking and I can try to open up that dialogue for them to communicate back to me why they feel they should do this or they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, go clean your room. No, I don't want to go clean my room. Okay, well, why don't you? Right? Do you know the consequences of if you don't clean your room?
Mhm.
Right? And it's trying to really just be like, hey, think for yourself, whether you're right or wrong, have free thought, be a free thinker, speak what's your mind. So that way on my end, it's not just me saying, well, I'm the parent, so you need to listen to
Yeah.
me. Which
Right.
there are times like that,
Yeah,
right?
you have that right, but
But
yeah.
I don't want them to think in their mind, like, because I am their superior, I'm their parent, that you have to listen to everything I say. Because then you could apply that to school.
Yeah.
I don't think that teachers are right.
There
all
are
the
some
time.
teachers I don't want talking
So
about
it's like,
kids.
I don't want my kid to then transfer that over to, oh, well, my teacher's telling me that.
Mhm.
They're my superior, so I better listen and I better
Right.
obey. No, I don't want that. So it's a challenge, man, because I've been going through some ish with,
Yeah.
my 6-year-old, and I'm just like,
Well, to your
you
point,
better learn how to
too,
box quick. because
Yeah.
I'm about to box them ears off.
We're getting
fast.
boxing gloves
You
ASAP.
about to get rocked.
Well, to your point though, because we were telling my son a couple weeks ago, we had bought him a water bottle for school, came with his backpack, like China Spring did a whole
Yeah.
package, and so his water bottle came with his name on it and stuff like that.
That's
Cool
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
That's dope.
So we were telling him because he would come home with the full water bottle, or go to school with the full water bottle, come home with the full water bottle. I'm like, are you drinking that water, or are you just not touching it?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'll take sips here and there, and this and that. I'm like, well, you should probably, your goal should be to drink the whole thing.
Good. Goals
Yeah.
are
The whole
good.
thing.
Goals are good.
And he was like, okay, well, what about if I have to use the restroom? I'm like, we'll go to the restroom. And he was like, well, my teacher tells me sometimes that, like, at this certain point, I can't go to the restroom. And I'm like, well, you can politely ask your teacher, I have to use the restroom.
Yeah.
And if she tells you you can't go, you can, again, politely tell her, I have to go to the restroom.
I'm
Really
gonna
bad.
pee
Your
my
pants.
pants.
Really bad.
Like,
And then we were like, okay, then you
Like-
just get up and go.
Pull that Billy Madison.
Just get up and go.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
that's the thing. It's
there-
like, because then you could sit here and be like, no, like, hey, I'm encouraging my kid to drink more water. Like, drink water.
But
That's what
I
mean, you
I
know what
don't
mean?
want
Like,
him. But I don't want him to straight jump to. Oh, I'm gonna just get up and get out the classroom
Yeah.
because I want to be
absolutely.
cool. You
Gotta
know
be
what I
like
mean?
2 at least,
Absolutely,
yeah.
And I feel like if he was to do it that second time, kind of urgently,
Yeah.
I need to go to the restroom. She would be okay. Go ahead. I doubt that she would do that, but I want him to know in the case that she wouldn't, he could just get up and go. You're
Mhm.
not gonna get in trouble at home. You may get in trouble in school because they don't want you to do that.
But you'll go to bat for him, so it's
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so, but that was to your point. Like, have your own thinking that you need to do what's right and wrong. I don't want you to keep saying and doing what you think I need you to do or want you to do.
Yeah.
When most of it is for your good, but you need to have a mind of your own.
Mhm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I don't want you to tell me what I want to hear. What do you think? Why did you think this way? How did you think that? Or what's going on? Because I want to get in his mind.
Yeah.
Why are you doing these things?
problem solve yourself.
Exactly.
Figure it out
Yeah.
yourself. There's no age at which us parents should be like, oh, okay, well, at 11 years old, then I'm gonna start. No, let them start trying to problem
When
solve
you have
themselves.
expectations for your kids that you may seem are normal, and they're literally going and learning year by year, day by day, month by month, like we are. I've never parented an 8-year-old like I am now. Never.
Mm.
Ever.
Right? And this is
You've
my
never done it.
oldest, unfortunately, is my trial and error.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, he unfortunately has to see this is my first time ever parenting an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, in their ages. And so unfortunately he has to be that trial and error, and hopefully I do better with the other ones.
Yeah.
And of course I'm doing the best that I can do with my oldest, but there are things that we probably did with him that we'll do differently with the other ones.
Absolutely.
And he'll see that
Yeah.
and be like, well, what about, but he'll know why later on.
Yep.
I'm the youngest.
Yeah. It sucks because you're like,
My older siblings are like, you let him do anything.
yeah.
I'm like, you guys don't know what I did.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
dude, even out of us, you're the youngest.
Yeah, true.
This is true.
Yeah. Do you want to lie on camera, or are you gonna
Okay,
just
how old
take
are
that
you?
one?
How old are you? You want to take it to the chin?
I don't
Just take
think
it on the
I
chin.
don't think we should even talk about age here.
I
You know
mean,
what? We'll do this.
I
We'll
look
do
the
this.
youngest.
If we have viewers out there, if we have viewers,
How does that look?
I want the viewers to put what they think.
Our
we are.
ages?
Our ages. I want them to tell us what they think.
Drop that age.
Our viewers all know us.
I'll be the first
But
one to.
not yes and no. Yes.
We
and no.
have to act like we have hundreds and thousands of views, Winton.
Hey, okay.
We got to speak
Do
it
it.
into existence.
Mom, don't put my
the
birthday
law,
down there.
the law, the law of
Please.
attraction. That's what it comes down to.
Are you saying you're attracted to me?
Well, I mean, that's part of it.
Okay.
Hey,
So how many minutes do you think we've been talking?
A lot, and I want to
an
keep.
hour.
I want to keep going.
We can't because we have to do 30 minutes.
Why?
Well,
Yes, we
it's
have
not
to
like a
do-
hard and fast 30 minutes, but like,
Yeah, but he has to pick throughout all this.
well, it's just we need to have like the
know.
good section, and then like, because once you go into like the wild, offshoot rabbit trails, then it's kind of like, okay, well, this is rambling.
We have to save our
Interesting.
good stuff.
So when are we done?
I mean,
Ow.
we're probably done right now.
Okay. This is NoHR, Winton, Brennan, Michael. just three idiots talking about everything except politics.
I'm not going to point.
Please, for our viewers, our fans, comment, like, subscribe.
Thanks.
That's good.
We're out.
I'm actually okay with that.